Liz, how are you? Rough night?
Shit could be a lot better.
Yeah, well, I can only imagine, and we don't have to talk about it. I mean, are you happy in your life? I know that's a big fucking loaded question, and happiness is within a contentment within yourself.
I guess you could say happiness because it's temporary. It's based upon happenstance, so.
That's right.
As of right now,
I'm
happy, but I don't have joy.
Yeah. How do you manage to tolerate all those repulsive pigs that you have to go through and pretend you're turned on and like, oh baby, you're so hard, you're so big, you're so whatever.
Well, I've always said when I was younger.
Do you consider yourself an actress?
I mean.
Don't you feel like you're fucking lying? Don't you feel like you're just like don't you feel like when you say that shit that these guys, like, they've done it 100 times, even with 100 other hookers, that they're just giving you shit?
Well, I mean, for me, like I said, as a child, I was, as I got a little older, I'm like, man, if sex was a job, like being sexy, I could totally.
Do you just live within yourself like that? I mean, when you're there.
Oh yeah, I mean,
do you just feel your own beauty and your power and your sexiness? Do you love the power it has?
Yeah, I mean, females don't understand the power that they have. I mean, constantly, it's just like an ooze. Like, I walk down the street and, I can pick up money just like that,
Of course you can. I mean, do you ever have an orgasm?
Actually, I've never had one.
Well, I thought you had with Ricardo.
Well, I faked that one.
Really?
I'm an actress, right?
Yeah. And he believes it?
Oh yeah, all the time.
But he's always with other... How do you feel about him being with other women? Doesn't bother you? You ever get jealous? Like, if you don't feel that you're like the number one, he's living with you. But how many of the other girls is he stooping?
I mean, all but one really, because he knows she's got something, so.
Right. He's hot, right?
Sure, he's not sure about it. Yeah.
How did you get hooked up with him?
Well, I mean, he saw me walking down the street one day. I was on my way to the coffee place, and across the street from his place, and I was having some tough times. I got kicked out, and he came and talked to me, and he's like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, well, nothing right now, obviously. And he offered me some coffee, and we talked, and he said, what do you think about being sexy for a living? I said, what do you mean?
What do you mean sexy for a living? That's like the fucking lamest thing I've ever. You mean what?
Well, that's what the fuck.
What do you think of being like cooking for me for a living and getting your ass in there? How much does he give you?
Well, I get.
How much? Let's say on a good night you get $1,000.
Yeah.
Let's say if you're lucky, you get $1,000, and when you take it home, how much do you give to him?
Well, he counts through it, and then he at least gives me at least 45 to 50%, depending on how much he's making from the other girls.
He doesn't just give you 50%.
He doesn't.
He would actually take enough. He would take 60% of what you do. I mean, can I ask you, what the fuck do you need him for?
Well, he's paying all the bills. I don't pay for shit. All the money I make, I just buy stuff.
Like clothes?
Yeah, clothes, food. If I want to take myself out to a little fine restaurant, something.
Does he? How is he in bed?
Ricardo's a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
He's like sex animal. Like, he starts breathing all crazy, and his face turns into this. So I was like, I don't know, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's why you're with him.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why you pay him.
Best sex I ever had. I mean,
60%. How long have you been together with him?
It's been about roughly a year and 3 months, I think I would say, yeah.
Have you ever had a big fight? Does he knock you around?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Gets jealous?
You know, I really think that's it. But, you know, if I don't bring home enough money, that can start
Really?
a big fight, yeah. Because I'm like his main, you know, like, I'm
And
the
what-
main thing.
What happens if, like, what if you found out that you weren't his main thing? How would you be? Do you have a temper?
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, I run it. So I don't understand how there would be just another person.
You don't run, you run what?
I run this, like, I'm the main shit. I bring in all
Well,
the money.
that's fine, honey bunny, but you know what? Like when you're like out doing, you know, Billy Bob and Joe Briggs and everybody else, I mean, what's he doing? What do you think? Think he's at home doing crosswords?
Count money, I don't know.
Well, tonight was a slow night. And he booked you with the losers that stiffed you. You're pissed off, but you're gonna keep that $500 that you just got from that guy in the taxi. And you're not gonna tell him about it. Because he didn't book that for you. So I want you to stash it in a place that you don't think you'll find. And when he asks you, you have to be really defensive about your night, about how he fucked you up with these people and he's not doing his job and you're totally pissed off because you could have been bringing home twice that amount of money. So if he proclaims that you're not bringing in the money, it's him, all right? You got to turn it on him. And you got to stand up to him tonight.